We respectfully request the Sangha of great virtues, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tận thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhật thiết chúng sanh, thịnh chuyển diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, thập chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Thô Sư Chế Đô Ye Ơ La Hơ Đi San Miao Son Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tạc Đạc Hà Tô Già Đà Già La Đế Tam Hiệu Tham Lô Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom and thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian, 万劫难遭遇我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Jing Liang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư Hòa thượng Thiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện sĩ Thích Ca Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 26th of November 2023. We're here at Way Mountain Temple. This is our first night of the lectures or Dharma talks on for the winter tea. So we'll be doing this every night for the next 10 weeks. And on weekends, in particular Saturday nights and Sunday nights, we'll be lecturing on sutras. And weeknights we'll be lecturing on giving you instructional talks. So welcome to all of you and thank you for coming. Okay, we are here tonight, Sunday night. We are discussing the very first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. This is the most profound wisdom sutra in Buddhism. It is so profound that we can spend many lifetimes studying it and we're barely scratching the surface. Okay, so we can go on and revisit over and over again. Master YongHua explained this and has been translated to English, most of it. And so I strongly encourage you to read his explanations. Thank you very much. What we do here is go through some of the chapters I find interesting. I don't have the time I won't be able to explain the entire sutra the way Master YongHua did. It took 10 years, lecturing every single night, at least 3 times a day, an hour and a half each time. So at times he was behind schedule, so he was even lecturing 5 times a day on the sutra. That's how important it was for his disciples. We're taking a different approach. He laid a foundation for the Avatamsaka knowledge. Profound Buddhist wisdom is just so wonderful. It gives you insights in things in the universe, and it kinds of helps open in your mind, make your mind realize how limited you are and how small thinkers we are. We're so preoccupied with the small things. And we're learning how wonderful the universe is, and that all is well, and that it all depends on us. It's about cultivation, okay? And so here we are, first chapter here is, the first chapter is about the who's who. Who are the world rulers of this universe? The universe here is ruled over by rulers, and it should not be a surprise to you. Without ruler, there would be anarchy, okay? And therefore, we're finding out so far, we learn about the world rulers on the various heavens of the fourth dhyana heaven, third dhyana heaven, and so forth. We're right now talking about the desire realm heaven, which is our realm. Desire realm is where we live. That's where we are full of desires. We spend our efforts, our energy, our time on fulfilling our desires. That's why it's called desire realm. Okay, this is what we do, like it or not. As long as we're here, this is what we do. That's considered normal. Okay, and so this desire realm here has 6 desire heavens, and the topmost one, the highest one, is the one that we're discussing right now. This desire heaven, the topmost level, or the 6th desire heaven, is basically where the heavenly demons live. Okay, first introduction for you to this concept of demons. The Buddhists recognize, the Buddha says, yes, they exist. They got in my way and they helped me become a Buddha, so you should know about it. And so when he talked about the Avatamsaka Sutra, the sutra describes in details about more details. So here, in this first chapter, we just hear about their names. These are Mahasattvas, world rulers are Mahasattvas, who disguise the huge, the gigantic, and manifest the small, okay? So that they can get close to us, so that they can help us. Don't be fooled, okay? Don't think that these beings simply by being a world ruler of the desire heaven, of where the heavenly demons live, they actually are low lives. No, they're not. They're actually Mahasattvas who are working. Some of them, a good number of them, are actually Mahasattvas, all right? And so that's all we are today. Any questions? It blows your mind, okay? It helps you. The more, if you don't drop out, the more you hear this propaganda, this brainwashing, the more your mind opens up. You say, oh, wow, I never thought of it before. The world is so fascinating. Okay? How small of thinkers we really are. Yes, JMT. Okay, while you're working on your audio's problem as usual, you should figure it out.
네, 안녕하세요.
Okay, we can hear you.
네. 저는 지금 몸이 많이 아파서 좀 이렇게 조언을 듣고자 지금 이 자리에 왔거든요. 기도를 한 4, 5년 이렇게 꾸준히 해오다가 어떤 다른 사찰의 인연을 가지고 거기에 이제 한 3번 정도, 2번 다녀오고 3번째 거기에 인연 있는 분들하고 기도를 이제 하고 난 뒤에 그 몸에 그 이상한 반응들이 와서 지금 한 3주째 계속 힘들고 있습니다. 몸무게도 많이 빠지고 있고 지금 이제 막바지에는 저녁에 잠잘 때도 몸에 엄청 통증이 오고요. 그냥 뭔가 내 안에 막 들어왔다 나갔다 하는 느낌도 받고, 예, 그래서 오늘 이 시간에 이렇게 참여해서 좀 조언을 듣고 싶습니다.
Master, I have a question. I'm participating today for Dharma talk because my body is sick, and I'd like to ask for your advice. I've been cultivating for 4 to 5 years, and recently there was a chance that I was able to visit a temple, and I went to this temple for 3 times. After that, I start to develop a problem, and then the symptoms starting to show. For the past 3 weeks, I lost weight, and before I go to sleep, I feel like some kind of beings is going in and out of my body. Master, also she sent writing through Venerable XR, so I could add additional information for you. So she went to this temple, and what happened was there was prayer for the deceased people. So this prayer happened to be happen outside of the temple, so she participated as well. And then since then, she feels like getting panic attacks, such as tight chest. She feels really fearful, and then she feels the coldness entering her left side of the body. She went to see a doctor, but they could not diagnose the problem. Thank you, Master.
Is she our disciple? We don't meddle in other people's business.
She's not our disciple, but she came to visit our relic exhibit, and she read your Chanhan book.
Okay. When you go to funeral services, funeral homes, or cemeteries, those are very dangerous places. Even I do not like to go, because that's where the yin beings hang out. That's why they throw parties and they have a good time. Or whenever I go there, I cause problems for them. Okay, so that's why I try to avoid it. And so much more is the case for you. You go there, and imagine you go into something you probably can see, like a group of, with all due respect, anyone who's a biker gang, belongs to a biker gang, they're throwing a party, and you go there, and you don't belong, okay? And they have tattoos. They wear leather, and they have foul teeth, some of them. And if they bite you, it really hurts, okay? And so these are different people. They use drugs, they drink, and so forth. They like to fight, okay, and so forth. You go to the wrong place, you're asking for trouble. Similarly, you go to a funeral home, you are going to a place where the demons and ghosts hang out, and it's not good for you. Okay, so that's why invariably a lot of people get in trouble. Case in point, I saw a lot of people who worked at funeral parlors. I look at them, they're all possessed, all of them. They're very rich, and very wealthy, okay? It's a nice business. You buy a piece of land, you charge whatever you want to charge for a tomb, and it's a very, very low overhead, and you make huge amount of money. But you don't realize that you're dealing with ghosts and demons. So, for example, in Buddhism, we're not allowed to go into that business. We're not allowed to have a funeral parlor, for example, because what we do is to fight them and to crush them, okay? And therefore, there's a conflict of interest, not only because we make a lot of money, but also because that's why they hang out, okay? So yes, she's very sensitive. She realized that she could make the connection between going to a funeral thing out in the open or whatever, and she felt that somebody some being entered her. It's very commonplace. Okay, we used to, and when I was Long Beach Monastery, okay, where we train a lot of bunch of kids, about 14 of them, 15 of them, and we had very strong support because supposedly it's a program from Master YongHua to train the young novices, a little bit younger than this novice here, about 50 years younger, and so we taught them a lot of things, and of course we are so well supported by the lay people because it's Master YongHua's program, not because we're any good. It's just because Master YongHua has that kind of cachet, that kind of prestige. So many Chinese would come step up and support whatever he was doing. So we had a lot of lay people who supported us, and of course, in the course of time, I was there for 2 years. Some of the lay people supporters' relative died. So, and at the time, we basically were in the area. So the only active temple of Master YongHua in the area. So they asked us to go to funeral parlor to do the ceremony. Okay, and they're very nice. They hired a couple of one monk, Taiwanese monk, I think, and Taiwanese nun to go there, and they did the ceremony and so forth. We went there, and to chant a little bit. We weren't asked to do the ceremony at all, but we went there and we chanted for them anyway. And on the way back, our kids were attacked because that's what they do. You know, it's like, remember the example of the bikers gang. You go to the party, someone's bound to try to punch you or to attack you or to terrorize you. That's the environment. Of course, our people, our kids were, some of them were frightened when they threw up and so forth. They got frightened. They had nightmares that night and so forth. And so you see, even with us, when we avoid going to those places, I urge you, I advise you to stay away from those places. It's not a good place for you to hang out. Okay? You want to help out, send some money, send some flowers, send whatever, but stay away from them. And once they enter you, it's a very nasty business. I went to when I was on my own, practice on my own, and I went to a Vietnamese temple because my co-cultivator, a Bodhisattva, his close friend died, and so we went there, in the ashram of the temple in in Bolsas, in that general area, Garden Grove or something, and he was possessed by a demon. It took him a while, 24 hours, to evict it. You see, even bodhisattvas, they get in trouble as well. Okay, and so I'm sorry it happens to her. She should go to some temples and try to get some help. It's very dangerous. Once we hear that you possess, we ask you not to come to our temple because we're afraid to. We don't want to meddle into other people's business. It's none of our business. We're not in the business of meddling and trying to prove anything at all. Okay? Go to a temple and see if they can help you. All right? That's all I can say. Be careful. Avoid these places, folks. It's not for you. Okay? If you go with us, we'll protect you. You have nothing to worry about. That's our jobs, is to protect you. The funeral services and so forth, which I'm going to do tomorrow, for example, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, the people who will join us and to show their respect for the family, we will protect you. It's not a problem. This is what we do. Because when you follow us to do these things, we feel it is our responsibility to extend the protection and keep you out of trouble. Okay? Because if they mess with you, they're messing with us. And I do have a temper. All right? So she should try to get some help. All right, 381. Yes, sir, 6.
Thank you, Master. We have 2 questions from YouTube. And I would like to express my sincere gratitude for our YouTube audience joining us on our path to 10,000 subscribers.
How far along are we? Still at 4,000?
The best journey starts with a single step, Master.
I see. Not even 5 yet, huh? God.
I think we just got past 3,100 subscribers.
Not even 4,000. My God.
To help us on our path, please be sure to like, and if you haven't, subscribe to the channel.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see. First, we have a question from Ray Zhuang. Ray asks, Master, is it safe to recite the Shurangama mantra or 42 hands and eyes mantras on days I've eaten onion and or garlic? Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to recite it.
Thank you. Next question. We now have 2 more questions. This question is from Stefan Wonkmuller. Stefan asks,
Hamburg. He's from Hamburg.
Dankeschön. Master, yesterday evening I felt the ghost of an 8-year-old boy whom I learned had died a couple of days ago was in my room. What should I do in such a case? Thank you.
I don't know. You can try to recite the Buddha's name, the rebirth mantra, to help the little boy. Okay? All right, next.
Thank you, Master. Last question from Jane Clymer. Jane asks, is it okay if I attend a friend's husband's memorial service online?
Yeah, online tends to be safer, okay? Until they figure out how to get to you via the internet. Okay, yeah. Yes, 4.
Master, so you said that like bodhisattvas, they will manifest as a demon. to do their work. So how is it different from like worldly people pretending? Like some people pretend to be rich, some people pretend to be famous or well liked. Some people pretend they're not stressed out. How is the Bodhisattva kind of manifestation different from just pretending in a worldly sense?
Well, the answer is obvious from the way you phrase the question. Worldly people pretend out of ignorance. Bodhisattvas pretend out of wisdom. That's the difference. It looks the same to you, but there's a difference between confusion versus wisdom, versus clarity of mind. Again, this is what we do. We cultivate in order to clear our head and learn to wield our wisdom, instead of being confused and being a victim of life, because that's how ordinary people live their lives. They live their lives in confusion. They are victims of their own afflictions, and that's why you're getting training, so that you learn to not allow your afflictions to cloud your mind. Yes, JMT.
네, 평소에도 42수 안에 4번, 5번이 좀 집중력이 좀 잘 안 되는데, 좀 전에 어떤 분 말씀하신 대로 이렇게 밖에서 식사를 했을 때 오신채를 자연스럽게 먹게 되잖아요. 그러면 더더욱 더 4번, 5번의 집중력이 떨어지는데, 제가 질문 드리는 거는 오신채의 영향을 많이 받게 된 건지 현재 제가, 아니면 원래 그러니까 오신채를 먹으면 42수 안에 영향을 미치는데 제가 민감하게 그거를 알아차리게 된 건지를 질문드리고 싶습니다. 그러니까 평소에도 4번, 5번이 좀 잘 안 되는데 오신채를 먹었을 때 4번, 5번이 집중도가 많이 떨어져서 좀 많이 고생을 하는 거 있어요. 네, 예수님. 네, 세라님.
Master, I have a question about eating garlics and onions and other prohibited food. When I recite 42 hands and eyes, especially number 4 and number 5, I could feel that I'm not doing well on 4 and 5. So when we go out and eat, we ended up eating garlics and onions and etc. and other things. And I could feel that maybe the concentration decreased. Maybe that affects my recitation. Is it because I realized that there is a problem because eating these kind of food, or would you know what would be the problem?
Well, it's too complicated. Put it this way, very simple. You eat onion and garlic, you tend to create afflictions for yourself. You become more afflicted. You become more easily afflicted. And that's why your cultivation, your recitation of the mantras and so forth, and the Buddha's name and sutras will not be as good as if you weren't eating onion and garlic. This is what it's about. If you want to, if you must eat onion and garlic, you must pay the price, meaning that your recitation, your cultivation will suffer, will not be 100% effective. That's how it is. All right? It's self-inflicted. It's no one's fault. Yes, go ahead. Continue.
그럼 평소에도 똑같이 1번부터 42번까지 있는데 유독 제가 4번이 제일 안 되거든요. 집중이 안 되고 그다음에 이제 5번 이렇게 순서가 있는데 이렇게 4번이 좀 특히 잘 안 되는 어떤 이유가 있는지, 또 좀 집중하려면 어떻게 해야 되는지 조금 여쭙고 싶습니다. 그러니까 평소에도 똑같은 번호를 해도 4번이 잘 안 돼요.
So, Master, generally when I recite 42 Hansanais from number 1 to 42, usually I have a problem with number 4, that's the hardest one, and then number 5. Is there might be some reason why I can't concentrate on number 4? How can I overcome this problem? Thank you.
Yeah, it's not surprising that you struggle with number 4 and number 5. Continue the practice, work harder, concentrate, and hopefully you overcome it sooner. Okay? You're supposed to have problems. And you cultivate, you have no problems. You are not going to be able to make progress. This is what differentiates us from the other temples, including Master YongHua's temples. We struggle a lot more than any of them. Because the more you struggle, the faster you progress. There's a price. You want to be easygoing, you want to be pleasant, and then you should be in the Pure Land. Pure Land is easy and pleasant. Here in the Saha world, it's not easy, it's not pleasant. I'm sorry. You're looking for pleasant and easygoing, that's death. That's decay. That's slow death. That's confusion. Because the demons make it easy and pleasant for you so that you are totally under their control. Yes, 2 here.
네, 마스터. 저번에 자기장 관련해서 말씀을 해주셨는데 전기차를 그래서 타면은 사람한테 그렇게 좋지 않다고 해주셨어요. 근데 저희가 이번에 선치 이렇게 하면서 계속 결과부자를 하면서 훈련을 받고 있는데 저녁에 또 전기장판을 켜서 자게 되면은 그것도 또 자기장에 영향을 받아서 저희가 그렇게 좋지는 않은지 질문드립니다.
Sir, you mentioned about electronic magnetic field a few days ago. You mentioned about EV is bad for our health. So my question is, when we cross our legs and during the chanchi, and then during the night, if we use the electric blanket, is it also going to be a problem for us? Thank you.
The electric blanket is very weak. It won't affect you that much. But the EVs, the pure EVs, are the huge battery that's underneath the entire car. The hybrid are smaller battery that's bad enough, but we have the EV, pure EVs have a humongous battery underneath your car. So everyone is that it's a big magnet, so it messes up our magnetic field. So that's why I would recommend if you do EVs, don't do more than half an hour. If you sit longer than half an hour, it's going to be not good for you. It messes up your you in a bad way. In the future, which is just my projection in the future, the more EVs, pure EVs you have out there, the more doctors will have to face with weird diseases that's caused by your magnetic field being messed up. You are magnetic. We are all magnetic beings. And therefore, if you live right next to a humongous magnet, we're not going to feel right. Think about it, okay? And this is what the electrical engineers and people like Elon Musk who are too eager to make money to care for you. Okay? It's bad news. So, but for electric blankets, it's a very weak. It will not affect you that much. You can recover. If you happen to be in an EV, make sure you spend time meditating to recover. Okay? But limit your exposure. I would not ride in an EV car for very long. Half an hour around, that's it. Longer than that, I'd be worried. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, 6. It's just my humble opinion. And of course, there's no scientific facts. Don't ask me for a proof and so forth. You don't believe me? Well, in 20, 30 years, 100 years, you realize that we all screwed up by Elon and those demons.
Master, I have some anecdotes about EVs.
Yes.
I get on Uber. The driver is driving a Tesla. So I asked him, how does he feel about driving Tesla? Mm-hmm. So he said that the driver experience is better than driving normal cars. But
if you go straight, if you do handling, Teslas are no good. By the way,
okay.
Careful.
I don't know.
I drive nice cars, so I know the handling is important.
Yeah, he was comparing Tesla to like cars that people usually drive for Uber. So these low-end cars. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he said something interesting. He said that normally he can drive from the morning to like almost dawn to almost night without much rest. Right. But if he's driving a Tesla, he has
ICE machine, the internal combustion engine, is you don't have a problem. You pollute the air, but it's not bad for you. But the EV, yes, continue.
He also said that when he takes passengers from the airport with a Tesla, all the passengers fall asleep on the back seat. When he does that with regular like gas cars, it's not happening like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They will accrue data, and we find, what's scary is that there will be a lot of cancer things that is so strange because your cells are being destroyed. Okay, and it's going to be very bad for you. Just between us, stay away from pure EVs. Limit your exposure. You bought one, no more than half an hour, you'll be fine. But you make sure you meditate to recover. If you don't meditate, these people, I feel for them. Okay? They basically are frying themselves by the EVs. Yes, go Forrest.
Thank you, Master. I would like to share a story about EV that my husband feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I think we're going to be sued.
No, recently my husband started to feel energy that can be good or energy that he feel bad. And his brother bought a brand new Audi EV, came to our house, and then my brother just from a far distance, he says something is not right. And when he get close, he say, "No, I feel like when the barbecue place where they barbecue roasted duck and pig." He said, "The moment I step in his car, I feel that energy feel like enter in those places where they sell meat product." He says very uneasy.
Yes. It's just between us. Okay, before I forget. Yeah. You and your family, all your family members must stay away from EVs. Don't even get a ride on EVs.
Yeah.
That's how serious it is for your family.
Yes, my
husband will mess
say,
you up.
No. Yes.
Absolutely not. Okay? I'm sorry. EV is not for you. They will mess up your mind.
Yes, my husband say no EV for us for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good for you. Not worth it. Okay? Don't believe on all these people. They're idiots. They're only saying all these things to make money off us. Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. We have a YouTube question. This question is from Sarah. Sarah asks, "Master, I have 2 questions. First, I am able to do full lotus sitting by 30 minutes for a few days. I notice that when I'm sitting, my feet are cold and purple in color. Is it normal?
No, it's not. You have to cut it off. Then we're back to normal. Okay, what else? Second question.
Second, when I sit, I listen to either Great Compassion Mantra or Medicine Master Mantra. Is it okay?
Sure, why not? Okay, the feet being purple is because the blood circulation is not getting to the end of the foot. That's normal. Eventually, it will become normal naturally. Eventually. Okay, have no fear. Yes, JC.
안녕하세요. 계율을 받으면 다음 생에도 계속 그 계율을 지니고 있게 되는 건가요?
Master, when I receive precept, do I carry that to the next life as well? Thank you.
No, you're only good for this life. Next life, your new body, you have to receive it from another master. Yes, two here.
네, 마스터 감사합니다. 이 좋은 도량에 와서 정진할 수 있도록 해주셔서 전 말로 표현할 수가 없습니다. 너무 좋았습니다. 그런데 제가 감기가 걸려서 아직 80%는 완치가 된 것 같은데 20%가 아직 완치 안 된 것 같거든요. 근데 12월 11일 날 제가 출국을 해요. 그런데 단식을 해야 되는데 언제부터 해야 되나 싶어서요. 11일이요. 네.
Master, I'd like to thank for providing this great way place for us to cultivate. With my gratitude, I cannot explain in any words. I really appreciate for the places. And currently, I caught a cold, and I think I'm okay for 80%, but still 20% is not cured. And I'm planning to leave December 11th. So when should I start my fasting? Do you have any suggestion? Thank you.
Well, get well first. Okay? Don't fast. You should get well first. And then you can fast. Okay? When you cultivate, you have to accord with conditions. Don't be afraid. If you're sick, wait until you're well. That's all. Don't have to force the issue. That's what is cultivation's about. But don't be afraid. You no need to be afraid. Okay? Anyone else? Yes, one.
Thank you, Master. I have a follow-up question. So I also got a flu, and I feel like I want to sleep all the day. So should I sit longer times to recover, or should I just adhere to my body's needs and go to sleep?
It's up to you. If you feel like sleeping, you can sleep. Or you can try to participate, and if you fall asleep, it's okay too. So either way is okay. Okay, I would recommend, because you know this is your first time, so get some rest. Don't overdo it. Okay, because there's no hurry. You're young. You have plenty of time. Okay, but you may want to get well first, and then when you're about 80%, then don't worry about it anymore. Okay? Participate. Follow the schedule. Okay?
Thank you, Master.
No one is ever 100%. So when you worry about 80%, you're fine. Okay? Yeah, that's normal. Because it's bad weather, and we have all sorts of obstructions and so forth. So there's no sense in being too obsessed or worried about it. Okay? Anyone else? Okay. part of your learning is to accord with conditions. Will never be perfect. It's not the way you expect. And that's why you accord with conditions. That's the training. Okay? You're sick, you're sick. If, there's no need to worry, not to be obsessed about it. You're learning. It's all part of your learning process. Okay? Yeah. All right, we're back at 381. Celestial King, courageous wisdom, gain a passage into liberation of universally gathering in all sentient beings and explaining principles to them.
永猛会天王得普摄为一切众生所说义解脱门。
Okay, commentary 382. This celestial king here, again, we are in the celestial king, that is in of the sixth desire heaven where the heavenly demons reside, and he's the king of that heaven, in the heaven. So he's very powerful. His name is courageous wisdom. Actually, courageous wisdom, courageous does not capture the meaning of his name, what he's known for. He's known for wisdom, okay? The wisdom he has is not about courageous. The wisdom here he has, Chinese-speaking people, has two sides of his wisdom. It has YongHua, okay? Yong is courageous, he's brave, meaning that he's afraid of nothing. That's the nature of wisdom. If you allow yourself to be afraid of anything at all, then your wisdom cannot fully develop. This is why I encourage you. You know, I know these people are scared of this, scared of that. Eventually, I help you overcome your fear because you don't need to be fearful. Okay? And similarly, when you see other people being fearful, you should practice the giving of fearlessness. Help them overcome the fear, like I'm trying to do it for you. Okay? That's part of your cultivation. And understand the principle. No need to be afraid of anything. Yes, when you don't have to be foolish, okay? You need to know your limitation, but you should not be afraid. There's a difference between knowing your limitations versus being scared. Am I making sense to you? That's Jung. Jung is that you brave. It's not courageous, you brave. You face the danger. You face the thing head on. You're not afraid. Okay? And that's how you discover your limits. In this controlled environment, you discover your limits. In a different environment, okay, you have no protection. Therefore, you have to be a lot more cautious. Am I making sense to you? I'm not advocating that you become reckless. I'm just telling you that you have to learn to live your life without fear. So this guy here, his wisdom is to give you that. The wisdom that can give you bravery. Is that clear? That's what he's doing. He's been doing it all his life. That's why he's known as Yongmen Hui, is the bravery wisdom. Meng is what? Chinese-speaking people. This is beautiful. We're learning how these beings became rulers, why they're making a difference, how they choose to make a difference to help living beings. It's fascinating to me. My master never explained this to his disciples because they're not there yet. But you are there, so that intrigues me because I want you to see what Buddhism is about, real Buddhism about, not just recite mantras or Buddha's name alone. It's all those we've been teaching you the last 17, 18 years are tools for you. Now I'm ratcheting it up where I'm teaching you more about the other side of Buddhism that Master YongHua did not do for his disciples. Why? because you are special. Okay? Don't sell yourself short. Okay? You have tremendous potential. It takes a lot of blessings for you to be able to hear this. Trust me. Yes, you're not rich, you're not famous, you're kind of boring, mediocre, but you have a lot of blessings. Okay, so what's Hmong? Huh? What's Hmong? Chinese people. Yes, Ray.
Is it unstoppable?
Hmong is unstoppable, yeah, but it has Hmong has a certain violence. Okay, is that yes, sir? 4.
I think it's a power that
Power, yes.
you overwhelmed.
Yes.
Anything challenge.
It takes power to be violent. You cannot be violent without power. Like you beat up someone. Yes, 4. Like a man. Women beat us.
Yeah.
Beat up on us differently.
Not use the violence to do stupid things, but definitely with your wisdom and the courage to proceed your plan to achieve it without any doubts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. Is that what mung bean is?
No, mung bean is something else. Mung bean is a vegetarian thing.
Different mung.
High in protein. You American.
We have a
Yes, sir.
We have a YouTube question. Celery Wong asks, "Hi, Master. I get up 90 minutes earlier recently for starting a day by full lotus sitting. But after the first 60 minutes, I am sitting and sleeping. Is that okay?"
It's okay. Keep fighting it. It's okay as long as you fight and you lose. Every day, fight and fight and fight and fight. Okay? But if you lose, it's okay. All right? We're not talking, I'm not training you about success. I'm training you to face your failures. If you succeed, then you are still within your comfort zone. How can you improve? Yes.
Thank you, Master. Then we have a YouTube comment from Derek. Derek comments, "Just a side note on EVs, the strongest electromagnetic fields can be found in the vicinity of the EV's DC charger."
I see. Okay. All right. And there's no way to shield the magnetic field. There's no way. Because I thought of getting a big upgrade for the temple. I was worried about that transformer or whatever thing. Okay. I looked into it. There's no way for us to shield it. Okay. So proximity matters. Don't stay too close. Okay, please. Don't be a fool. Don't let those big magnets fry you like potato fries. Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. So on a personal note, I've been following the EV and the hybrids closely, but I personally feel that Toyota has it right. Hydrogen is going to be the way to go. I'm really looking forward to like a V8 or a V12 equivalent hydrogen.
I hope so. I hope that the politicians will buy into diversity. They should not invest everything onto EVs alone. They should also invest in hydrogen technology. Right now, seems to be feasible for passenger cars, so they're retreating to commercial vehicles and so forth. But I hope that they get wiser, and they should invest for our own health. The Chinese are wrong. If they all go EV, they're frying their own people. It's that dangerous. I hope India doesn't do that. I hope the world wakes up one day. But I personally drive an EV. I mean, not an EV, no, thank you, Lord. I apologize. When I drive the San Jose up and down, I drive a hybrid. So I was curious about it. I said, is a hybrid okay? And so far, it hasn't affected me at all. But I'm different from you, okay? But I would never drive an EV up and down the coast. Never. I don't care how much money you give me. Except if you want to advertise on our YouTube channel, I could be talking to it. Everyone has a price. Yes, 6.
Well, and Master, thank you. I directly contribute your promotion of the Chanshi lectures to our current nearly 60 people attending live on our English channel.
Wow.
And we have a question from India.
Yes.
Solomon Pauchinhao, apologies, I didn't get that right, asks, Master, greetings from India. Is Buddhism and Christianity related, and what are your thoughts on Jesus Messiah?
Yes, it's related. We are good guys. We are both, the Catholics and Buddhists are, in principle, in theory, trying to be good guys, okay? And the necessary, what we're doing is helping fight a losing battle. The demons are running rampant nowadays. They're in politics, they're in technology, they're in AI and so forth, okay? And that's life. Life on earth is like that. It's a struggle between evil and good. Okay, and so the good things about that is that the organized religions, in particular the major ones like the Catholicism, Mormonism, Buddhism, and Judaism, they're the good guys. We are trying to do good in our own ways. So that helps. Okay. So, for example, Catholicism was on a decline. They have their ups and downs, but they were on a decline. And then until John Paul II came along and changed a lot and reinvigorated the system. Now it's going downhill again, but very slowly. So you see, what happened is that we have these great beings who appear, and this is very important for you to be mindful of, to remember that the world needs spirituality. Okay, living your life alone with following your material pursuit has proven historically not to work for humanity. We're very unhappy. We are less and less happy as time goes on. Okay, and what we're doing here in our small world, in our small ways, we are slowing down this decay and this destruction, this destructive behavior that are being pulled, being manipulated by the demons. So, in a way, when you practice Chan, you cultivate, you are participating, you're helping, you're contributing in the slowing down of the decay. And we are establishing sphere cocoons or islands where you can be safe, where you can practice and improve. Yes, JC.
Chinese YouTube channel, Chloe asked, Master, if we have to go to a cemetery to pay respect to parents or other close family members, what can we do to protect ourselves? Thank you, Master.
Okay, the Asians have this tradition of going once a year or more often going to the cemeteries and pay respect to the parents' graves, ancestors' graves, and so forth. It's a nice tradition. I think it's a very good tradition. However, it's not wise for you to go to cemeteries at all. Okay? If I were you, if I had my choices, I would pay someone to clean my parents' graves. Okay, make sure it's well kept and so forth. Okay, that's the minimum you should do. And if you want to pay them a visit, I would go to a temple. Okay, and offer incense or offer something to the triple jewel, so that drop in a little bit of money, offer some incense or flowers and so forth on behalf of your parents or ancestors or the deceased. They are much better off that way. You're creating blessings for them. And that will appease you emotionally as well, because you actually are doing something useful for them, instead of just you getting emotional release about your parents, about your ancestors, and so forth. I would turn that, your emotional attachment, to something that is constructive for the deceased, is what my advice would be. Go to the temple, any Buddhist temple, and make an offering. Doesn't matter if you're Buddhist or not. Go and make an offering on behalf of the deceased. And you see, if you do it often enough, you see, one of these days, maybe the deceased will appear in your dream and say, hey, thank you, because you actually are doing good to me, not just satisfying your own emotions. Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. Solomon Pauchin Hao is very interested to hear your thoughts on Jesus Christ. He has often heard the lost year of Jesus that some said he spent time with Lord Buddha.
Yeah, Jesus is a very special individual. Why is that? Because it takes a lot of strength to be able to go against the flow. He did it at the great danger to himself. So he's no ordinary man. It takes strength. It takes bravery, like here. It takes courage, like courageous wisdom here, to be able to do that. So yes, I heard rumors that Jesus was actually at some part, like 7 years of his life he spent with the Buddhists and training with the Buddhists and so forth. And that would not surprise me. But with all due respect to all the Catholics and the Christians, I don't care to go into that, because some of them will get offended by that. Okay, and so, but regardless of how he did it, the point is that he had to find a way to summon a lot of strength and courage to face his own adversity, his own difficulties. Yeah. So it takes, like here, it takes wisdom and it takes bravery to be able to do that. So that's precisely the point of spiritual training. Okay, when you grow up yourselves, your parents only prepared you intellectually. Especially in Asia, you are so obsessed with getting good grades and so forth, and you completely neglect about your spiritual health, your wisdom life. Okay, it used to be the case in the ancient times in Asia. That's a lot more balanced, the education, because they learn about Confucianism and so forth, which is basically a watered-down form of Buddhism. Okay, and so you have spiritual well-being, spirituality there. Okay, but nowadays the Asians are imitating the Westerners and completely renounced their spiritual heritage, that treasure they have, that makes the Asian cultures far more profound than the Western cultures. And they renounced it, unfortunately. Okay, and we here, in our small ways, is to bridge that gap between Asian superiority in many cultural aspects and Western cultural superiority as well. So we are like hybrids. We're like bridges to get the best of both worlds. Okay, and that's American culture. The Americans are extremely dangerous. Okay, in the sense that they're not like us Asians and say, I am Korean, Korea number one, Japan number one, Vietnam number one, and so forth. Yeah, back there, yeah, so Vietnam number one. He raised his hand right away, see? And you are so small-minded. India number one, you know, and so forth. Then the Americans are not like that. They think Americans are number one. You know how they get there? They get it because they get the best out of Korea, best out of Vietnam, out of India, and so forth. They got the, whatever his name is, I forgot his name now. Google CEO, Pinchar, right? Pinchar, yeah. See, from India. See, they use everyone. You know, by the way, when they nominated Pinchar to be CEO, I said, oh my God, Google is going downhill. Because Pinchar is very bright, he has samadhi power, but he has no wisdom. For a company to thrive, you need to have a leader with wisdom. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so see, now we have the Americans here. They use Pinchar, which is Asian. You see that? And then Microsoft uses Nutella, okay, and so forth. They're very dangerous. They own the company and they use your wisdom and so forth. That's America. We have to be like them. Okay, they embrace and they use what's best from everyone. And that's the spirit of Mahayana, by the way. All right, anyone else? That's why my disciples become less Vietnamese, less Korean, less American, less Indian, and so forth, eventually, naturally. Chinese, you name it. Colombian, you know. Yes, 6.
I wanted to ask you regarding the point that you made about cemetery. In India, they are normally burn the bodies, they don't bury it. Do you think burning the bodies help the spirit not hang around?
Yeah, when you burn the body, you have no physical place for them. You know, like, I don't know, you saw the movie Dracula, where in the scene where this beautiful redhead, okay? What's her name? Lucy, I think, something like that. Huh? And she's a vampire, like a girlfriend of Dracula. And they catch her carrying a newborn child by the size of that little girl there. Huh? Maybe a little bit smaller, more like Malaya. Okay? And you see the canine, the long canine thing, and blood coming down. Never mind. Okay. How do we go into Dracula again? Huh? What? Yeah, 6.
We were talking about people bursting into flames.
Bursting into flames. Yes. All right, JC.
안녕하세요. 입선입니다. 저희 시어머니 49제를 올렸습니다. 하지만 저의 남편의 형제들은 묘지에 가서 제사를 지내길 원하는데 이런 경우는 어떻게 해야 하나요? 아마 일정한 주기적으로 묘지에 가서 제사를 지내야 하고 무교인 형제들은 제가 큰 며느리이므로 제사에 참여하길 원합니다. 저는 현충원이나 큰 묘지에 가면 머리와 팔뚝이 너무 아픕니다. 유튜브 질문입니다.
Master, this is Ibsan. My mother-in-law passed away, and then we request 49 days. And what my husband's family is requesting is they want me to go to the cemetery with other family members and pray there. And they want me to regularly participate on going into the cemetery and pray. Unfortunately, I am the oldest daughter-in-law, so it's kind of forced to do it. And wherever I go to, deceased person's area, I get headaches and doesn't feel well. In this case, would you advise anything for me? Thank you.
I advise you to go. We will give you protection. Have no fear. Okay? Of course, when you go to, let's say, to a biker's gang party, you're bound to be bothered by the noise and so forth. But there's no real permanent damage. Nothing to worry about. All right, anyone else? Okay, let me finish this slide here. Okay, I only have 14 minutes left. We need to be on time, folks, because you have to meditate, remember? Okay, so he's YongHua. So this wisdom here, his wisdom here, why is it called courageous wisdom? Because this wisdom manifests as bravery and as fierceness. Okay? That's why he's known. Because the way he goes about his job, his work, is that he uses wisdom, okay? And from his wisdom, he manifests bravery so that we, the beings who are near him, who encounter him, would feel less afraid, okay? He's a role model for bravery. And also, how about fierceness? Meaning he's very violent. Okay? He screams at you. Hit you. There's violence here. It's not supposed to be pleasant, folks. Remember, he's a heavenly demon. He doesn't care. Yes, sir. Colombia. 3.
Thank you, Master. Because he's the demon king, he's going to be giving that fearlessness to demons as well?
Only the good ones. Okay? I'm so disappointed. It used to be the case when I scream and yell at you people do like this in the audience, and no one is budging anymore. So I'm losing my fierceness. My violence is no longer working. This is terrible. What's the matter with you? She used to. Last year, DTT, I would do that. Look at it. You know, everyone now is so like, yeah, there he goes again. All right? So he's so effective. That's why amongst his peers, he's known to be brave and fierce wisdom, not courageous. Okay? And how did he become enlightened? How did he get there? How did he gain this wisdom of bravery and fierceness? He got there by gathering in all sentient beings. All sentient beings Not just like him who wants to save only Koreans, therefore he doesn't want to learn English. There's no pressure for him to learn English. Why? Because he only wants to save Koreans. He says, I'm a San Francisco man who specializes in saving Koreans. We have to save all sentient beings, folks. Okay? That's how you learn. You learn from Sunday Pichar, you learn from, that's the Arab guy who had an Uber now. Huh? He's an Arab, Persian, I think, okay, and so forth. All these people, they have wisdom, okay? You have to save them all, okay? Universal gathering in. So he became enlightened by committing to help everyone. Now, this lady here used to be sick a little bit. Now she has no tremor anymore. What's the matter with you? She stopped eating kimchi. That's what the change is. Okay? So I want you to open your heart. This is what's so important. It's not about all these words and all these people. It's about you. If they did this to get up there, why can't we? If we do it, we imitate them, we can get up there too ourselves. Don't set your sights too low and say, oh, I want to save only Koreans. Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. What type of violence do you suggest we imitate from Celestial King, Courageous Wisdom?
Fist power. I love fists. Yeah. Whatever turns you on in terms of violence. Thor uses a hammer. Conan uses his whatever saber thing here. Okay, whatever you want to convey your violence. Yeah.
I really prefer Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan when he goes out with his friend at night and they have a lot of fun and then he punches the camel. So when I think of Conan violence, I'll think of that scene.
Whatever works for you, whatever turns you on. Yes, JMT. San Jose is so quiet and say, oh my God. These people are so uncivilized. Yes, JMT.
네, 스님, 아까 질문하셨던 분이 마스터의 제자는 아닙니다. 그때 봄에 삼전시 때 제 아는 분 따라서 여기를 왔었고, 그리고 마스터 법문을 제가 책을 드리고 결과부자를 해보라고 권했던 분인데요. 이분이 최근에 그런 이제 몸에 이상이 오고 두렵고 공포스러운 거를 느끼고 도움을 받을 때를 찾지 못하고 힘이 없는 저한테 이게 도움을 청해가지고 이제 멀리서 오늘 왔습니다. 근데 마침 또 주지스님께서 계시질 않아가지고 주지스님도 못 뵙고 마스터께 지금 질문을 드렸는데 어떠한 도움을 받지 못하는 것 같아서 너무 안타깝거든요. 이렇게 막 공포스럽다고 할 때 도움이 될 만한 말씀을 한마디 해주시면 안 되겠습니까?
Master, the person who asked about visiting the prayer, participating prayer for the deceased person, this person came to our temple during springtime, during the relic exhibit, and she was interested in Dharma, so I gave her Chanan book and also taught her how to cross her legs. She was not able to find any help from anywhere. And unfortunately, she came to see me, which I am helpless.
Who's he? So who's me?
Me is Venerable XR.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So she came to see Abbot, but unfortunately, Master Shencher is not here, and I feel really sorry for her.
Send her to the 3 big temples. Don't get in trouble. You know someone at Tungdosa, right? Send her there. Send her to Songwangsa. I'm telling you, we're the last stop. We're not going to try to be the first one. Let them try the other places first. And that's just a side note for you. It's bound to happen when you come to a place like this, a public place, when you have different people bring all sorts of personal issues to the temple. That's natural, okay? And so this is addressed to my sanghas. This is when you open the temple, it's your responsibility, okay? To protect them, to help them, okay? They come to the temple because they're in trouble. If they're perfectly happy, they wouldn't be here. No? It's something that's not working for them. That's why they're looking for a solution. Okay? In particular, they bring their own personal problems, and that's how we learn to help them. And that's why it's very important for you to open your wisdom and build your strength so that you're not afraid of them and you can deal with these troublemakers violently, fiercely. It's no talk. Okay? There's no need to be afraid. So if you only want to save Koreans only, then you only have Korean problems. You will not learn about, Chinese problems. Yes, 2.
우선은 참여하고 싶은 게 한 가지가 있습니다. 조금 전에 있었던 일인데 제가 기분이 너무 안 좋아져서 우울함이 막 몰려들어가지고 제가 순간 완전 그냥 우울이 어떻게 하든 말든 그냥 내비둬 버렸습니다. 그래서 그 공간에 있던 사람들에게 불편함을 한 느낌을 주었던 것 같아서 그 부분에 대해서 참여해드리고 싶습니다. 그리고 질문도 있습니다.
Master, I'd like to repent, and also I have a question. First of all, when I feel really depressed, I just behave the way I want it, not regarding the people near me. So I feel bad about this, and I like to repent. And she has a question after that.
Okay, don't drive any EVs. You guys who have mental issues, paranoia, depression, whatever, all those things, stay away from EVs. You should notice that when you go near EVs, you start acting up. It gets worse for you. That's a proof. It's very bad for you. Stay away from it. Yes, question.
네, 질문은 정말 날 것 그대로 얘기하겠습니다. 화가 나거나 우울하게 만들거나 사람들에게 어떤 사람이 나에게 어떤 행동을 했다라는 생각이 들어서 그렇게 뭔가 되돌려주고 싶을 때 가장 할 수 있는 가장 좋은 지혜로운 한 방을 먹이는 방법을 알려주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
Master, I'm going to be frank about this. When I'm angry and I'm depressed, and that's due to other people's fault, I like to revenge. What is the wisest way to revenge at once?
To revenge or repent?
Revenge.
Revenge?
It's just kind of revenge, but I just heard a lot of peace sound, so I just 한국식 표현으로 하면 한 방 먹인다라는 표현인데 계속 그 주먹 얘기를 들었더니 그 생각이 들어서 질문 드렸습니다.
Okay. Not only are you depressed, you are bipolar. So that's why you're very dangerous. When you're like that, okay, don't hurt anyone, walk away. No matter how wrong they are, you are not allowed to hurt anyone. You'll be sorry if you hurt anyone. Why? Because I train you to be stronger, but you use that strength and those tools to hurt others. Okay? I will destroy everything you have. You walk out of here the same day you walked in here. You'll be wasting your time here. Okay? You may not hurt anyone. That's an absolute no-no. No harming. Okay? It's not for discussion. It's not negotiating. You just don't harm people. You don't hurt people. Period. No matter how wrong they are. No matter how right you are and how wrong they are, you are not allowed to hurt them. If you feel entitled to hurt them, you're working for the demons. You're part of the demon's retinue. You may be wearing this, but you're working for the demons. And you won't get any help from me. You'll be wasting your time here. We're the good guys.
사실 진짜 하고 싶은 부분은 좀 더 지혜롭게 말을 해서 전달을 해야 하는 건지 그냥 그저 참아야 하는 건지에 대해서 좀 더 알고 싶습니다.
Frankly, what I really wanted to do is, do I need to say wisely and discuss the problem and deliver my point with that person?
No.
Or should I just endure?
No. You don't engage. As long as you're afflicted and you blame that person, you cannot help. Okay? You yield. All right, anyone else? Yes, 4 in the back.
Emitofuo, Master. I know now we should avoid going to cemetery or attend the funeral. How can I understand Master YongHua did Lumu for his mom about 3 years? Thank you, Master.
He's different from you. Demons cannot bother him. He's not the same as us. Therefore, you cannot compare yourselves to him. My advice is you personally, okay? Even some of my disciples who are enlightened, I don't even encourage them to go to cemeteries at all. It's not a good place. Very much like I don't allow them to go to join a bikers gang party. There's no way for me to protect them. Why would you go to a dangerous place? Master YongHua did it because whatever he was doing, if he weren't built for it, he would be in big trouble. You stay in a cemetery, you will be possessed by ghosts and demons, guaranteed. So for example, the Hinayana practice of sending their people to stay overnight in a cemetery, I frown upon that. I don't do that. That's too dangerous. It's suicidal. Yeah? Why would you go to their world? Very much like when you come here, you get so much out of it. It's the opposite of that. You go to cemeteries, all you're going to get is trouble. You come here, you get a lot of good stuff. That's the opposite of cemeteries. Don't go there. You're not strong enough. Master YongHua came here, even he has a program already, and therefore even when he was younger, at the age 11 or so, and 13 or so, he stood by his mother's grave for 3 years. He stayed there for 3 years. He has all sorts of protection, not us. We cannot compare ourselves to him. Very much like we're learning about this King Courageous Wisdom here, whatever the translation is. It's because I want you to see what it takes. These beings are different from us and how they got there. Because they're doing things that are different. They don't go to cemeteries, for example. I don't encourage you to stay in the cemeteries, even for filial piety and so forth. That's not advisable, not for everyone. It's not wise. It's like you go and hang around with the demons and expect them to ignore you. You go into a prison and expect them to respect you and love you and leave you alone. That ain't gonna happen. Yes, sir. 9.
Thank you, Master. In some Catholic churches, underneath there is a crypt where there are a lot of people buried, famous people or rich people or kings or whatever.
Yeah.
Are these two dangerous places, or is there some kind of protection because of the environment of the church and the religious services?
You can't protect them. You cannot protect you. I remember going to these big churches, well-known churches, where they have underneath a catacomb. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a lot of people go there. I would not go there. Not me. Where the bones are and the skulls are, I would not want to go there. I don't care. I don't go there for fun. Okay? I would not. It's not advisable. Including their exorcism, whatever, is inadvisable. You asking for trouble. All those people who exorcise, do exorcism, whatever, are all possessed. You don't want to mess with these. Okay? It's too dangerous. Gain your wisdom, build your strength, then you do anything you want. Let me tell you, for example, I'm curious to see what's going to happen if Xianro refers that lady to the other temple and see what they're going to do. I'm curious. If I were them, I say no thanks. I'm serious. Because my master's disciples, temples, okay, are very smart. They would not mess with our problems. They're too smart. But then you never learn. Okay? Not advisable. Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. It wasn't in a cemetery, but recently I was in a position where I had to interact with someone who was experiencing a psychotic break, like a lot of mental illness issues. And what's the best thing for me to do to
avoid contact as much as possible? It's nothing good comes out of it. I don't want to tell you this story, but it was funny. The Master YongHua, his disciples, the experienced ones, they avoid these like the plague. The problem we deal with, you people, okay? You come to them, I tell you, they say, please go somewhere else. Too much trouble. Not worth it. Because it's not just me, but they attack him and everyone else. All these people will be in trouble. But I'm different. I allow them to attack them so that I can teach them how to deal with them. You don't have a problem. It's nothing for me to teach. Yes, too.
네, 한국에서는 장례식에 다녀오면 소금을 뿌리거나 소금 위를 걸어서 밟고 지나가게끔 하는 그런 풍습이 있는데 그거는 전혀 도움이 안 되나요? 네, 솔트.
Can you try? Oh, sorry, Master. In Korea, when we visit funeral, after that, there's a remedy. We spray salt on us, or we step on salt. Is it effectful? Is it pretty good way to deal with it?
Good luck. You believe whatever you want to believe. You think salt can stop a demon? Seriously? You think garlic can stop demons like it stopped Dracula? You are so stupid. You believe anything you see in movies. You know, it's like they put the garlic behind you. The neck to keep the vampires away from you? Baloney. I just go like this and kill you. If I were a vampire. All right? If it smells bad, all I have to do is plug my nose, put on a face mask, and kill you. Jesus Christ. Salt? You believe anything you're told. You're crazy. Okay, can I finish this slide here? Otherwise, I have to come back next week. Okay? So this guy here, he became enlightened because remember this, folks, he committed to helping everyone. His heart is that big. He helps everyone. Bad people, good people, demons, nasty people, Donald Trump, Republicans. He helps everyone. Okay? He does not discriminate at all. That's very important. Stop discriminating. Stop thinking you're only Korean. Stop doing, I only help Chinese. Chinese are better, Indians are better, Koreans are better. Baloney. You have to help everyone. That's what makes him different. That's why he became enlightened. Is it clear? Okay? You can still become enlightened by helping only Koreans, but your enlightenment is narrow. You can never become a world ruler like this guy. Is it clear? Why would you settle with so little? Then you wasted your time coming here. I want your heart to be so big. Okay? Because it's your real heart. Not your thinking mind says, is it beneficial to me? No. You're thinking so small. We're learning this Avatamsaka Sutra in order for you to open your heart and let go of your pettiness. Okay? So help everyone. That's what he committed to do. And explaining principles to them, meaning that he has to gather them in, meaning that he has to find ways to bring them in, okay? Good food, music, whatever, okay? Whatever they like, okay? This is why we're expanding our repertoire more and more and more and more, okay? To gather more living beings in. And then not just gather them in, to collect money in a donation box and have, how is it, 3,400? We're not even 3,400 yet? What is this? And why don't you set a goal to like 4,000? It's more reasonable. 10,000? We will never make it in my lifetime. Six, yeah.
Thank you, Master. You taught me to
think big. Oh, yeah. 1 million.
Yeah. First 1 million views, then 1 million subscribers.
Jesus. My poor body. Yeah. So anyway, so you gather them in. You don't reject anyone. Okay? And the proof is that I want you to have your mind. Don't think we only, do Lu Mountain or this Wei Mountain or, Jewel Mountain and so forth. We're doing this because we're supposed to do it. We're supposed to try to help more and more and more. Okay? I'm not talking about a million. It's way beyond us. Okay? We're too small. We're too stupid, too poor to be able to do that. But the point is that the mind is there. When the opportunity arises, then we're willing to do it. Understand the difference? We're not talking big. We're not trying to sell tickets here. Okay? Or subscription here. It's about your heart has to have no limits. That's very important. Okay? And so you gather in. You bring all these people. You don't reject them. Okay? And then you explain principles to them, meaning you have to have wisdom to know what principles to explain to them. The funny thing is that when people hear the principles, they connect immediately. Say, yeah, I like it. It makes sense to me. When I talk to you about open your heart, make your heart, be boundless, become bigger, you like it, don't you? You don't say, 1 million, that's all I'm going to do. Why not 10 million, man? 10 billion? Are we up to 10 billion yet? See that? You like it because your heart appreciates it. Okay? You understand principles. You know what? Your Buddha nature likes it. That's why it's very important for you to talk about principles. You learn about Avatamsaka, and you learn about all these principles that you someday will be able to share with everyone. That's why we're doing this, folks. It's your wisdom. Okay? Thank you, everyone. We stop here tonight. Were you sleepy or just not scared anymore of me? Okay. No rebirth transference, right? Or is there rebirth transfer? No rebirth transfer, right? I do it for you. Go back to your meditation, please. Become enlightened.